Okay, so I know it's been a while since I've made these type of videos, but I've been going through a lot of personal bullshit. Okay, and I'm okay now, but like I said, I'm just going through a lot of shit, and uh, you know, I'll be all right. Uh, it's just a lot of bullshit, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm in a damn twilight zone, and I'm just going through a lot, but I'm here. I decided to come back because I wanted to talk about something that I wanted to talk about this a while back because this is when I first read this article. This was months ago. But this is not to be confused with my privileges that gay men have over straight men series that I did in the past. This is going to be kind of different. And this is going to be called nine advantages of being gay. And I'm going to put a question mark because probably all nine of these advantages, quote unquote, I'm gonna doubt, and I'm gonna they're advantages, but excuse me, I'm just gonna yeah we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna leave the link to the article in the description so you guys can read it. So with that, let's talk about this. Okay, so before I get to advantage number one, quote unquote advantage number one, he starts it off by kind of telling on himself, like he says, "Oh, there's stigma and there's bullshit or the discrimination being a gay man." So I don't know. So he's admitting that there's not really that many advantages, but I don't know. I just find that kind of odd. Uh, but number one, he says the number one advantage is the community. I'm just gonna read some excerpts. It said, deciding to tap into your entrepreneurial spirit and build your own community. You can find tons of gay guys around town, whether they're on Meetup or your local boys' town, quote unquote, was there like a gay club? Is that what a boys' town is, or like a sex club? That's what I think it is. I don't know. I'm kind of confused on what he means by boys' town. Like a orgy party, like a orgy club. I don't know what he means by boys' town. But anyway, that's it. The number one advantage he says is the community, and also he says that with gay men, there's like gay-owned businesses. Supposedly, there are some out there that label themselves as a gay-owned business or a queer-friendly business. And guess why I say this is bullshit is because that's not always a guarantee. With this, you have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way, you have to be a certain way. And these certain ways, not everybody is the same. Not every gay man is the same. Not every gay man has muscles and is white and is good looking and is artsy. Not every gay man is like that. Even the gay men that are like that, even within that, if they don't like you, they don't like you. And you can try your damnedest to fit into their clique. If they don't like you, they don't like you, and that's just point blank. So I don't think it's an advantage that the so-called gay community is there for you is a good advantage because they're not there for you. They're not always there for you. And so he says your community, the gay community, can help you navigate through the waters of being. That is bullshit. I really wish that were true. It's not. So reason number one, the gay community will be there for you, and that's an advantage of being gay. Well, that's bullshit. Also says gay guys are welcoming and friendly. No, they aren't. That's bullshit. He also says that the gay community is full of rebels and status quo breakers, which is true. I'm one of them, and that might make you dabble into positivity and acceptance in the gay community. Well, that's bullshit. Yeah, I agree with him that he says that the community is full of rebels and status quo breakers. I am one, but what I don't agree with that he says that's an advantage to help you in the gay community. I have to say that is extreme utter bullshit because the gay community they want like-minded people. Uh, men that gay men have to act and be a certain way. You cannot be a rebel uh, and a status quo breaker in the gay community. You can be one. You can be a straight man that's like that, and quirky and weird and find your group. No, a gay man, no. You have to Be fashionable. You have to have fashion sense. You have to be good looking. You have to be kind of frou frou. You have to be very put together with yourself. You have to be very uh you have to be extremely temperamental. That's just how being a gay man is. They don't want status quo breakers, and they don't want rebels, and they don't want oblong people. And so I have to say that the reason number one advantage is just bullshit. It is. I'm sorry. Advantage number two of being gay that he says is that you're a history maker. Reading what he wrote, the landscape for gay men is changing all the time. Doors are opening. Windows are being busted out. Religion is less hard-headed. Okay, okay. Society has been so accepting of gay men. Just 10 years ago, gay men on TV were unicorns. Now it's and non-stereotypical. I mean, with gay men on TV now being non-stereotypical representations pouring from the media. Okay, okay, why this is bullshit? So he's basically saying, uh, being gay is an advantage to make history. Like, we'll change society and like we'll change the way how people think and we'll be like pretty much walking, talking, breathing social experiments. I get what he means, but it's bullshit. And I'm gonna tell you why it's bullshit. Because we're not making good history. We're making bad history. We're making people change the way like people are afraid like they have to be PC around gay men. Like they're afraid to like insult us, and they're like afraid. Oh well, I can't have my opinion on that. Like I can't have my opinion on homosexuality and gay men. Oh, I can't. I have to force myself to agree with them and support them. And as a gay man, it's easy for us to be like, hey, we want to be accepted and we want to be, follow the yellow brick road and be all happy and have everyone love us. But you don't understand that for straight people, they should have the right not to agree with us and to agree with who we are. You know, they have to respect us, yes, but I don't feel like I feel this is bullshit because we're making history because we're making history for people to force themselves to like us and to get our lifestyles out there for people to like, whether they like it or not, and they have to be PC whether they like it or not. So that's why I have to say it's bullshit. That's not really an advantage. If anything, that's kind of a real big disadvantage. Like all these are all of these are disadvantages. But yeah, this is not an advantage. Being a history maker, like being a bad history maker, like being a history discrimination maker. Like I don't, I don't understand this. And then he says, when you look back to this time, you know that you were a piece of history. Your life made a difference as a gay man. Okay, this is bullshit because I can't think of any reason. If anything, like we're getting worse. Like I said, people are taking a stand. Like if they don't want to be forced to agree with homosexual, like they're not homophobic. That's the next thing. We're so quick yeah, we're so quick to label people homophobic. I can't speak. I'm getting all tongue tied from this reading this bullshit. But we're calling people homophobic. We're so quick to label that homophobic label on people when people should have the right not to agree with something they don't agree with. Okay, and I'm also black and gay, so I feel like even with like slavery, like African Americans, like I'm Black American. I live in the United States. Like even then, like we still have a lot of work to do in that regard, because like even with slavery, we're looking back on all that, and like we didn't really advance or you know grow that much from that. So going back to the gay issue, I just don't understand when he says you'll look back on this time and you'll know that you were a piece of history as a gay. No, if anything, things are getting a lot worse. I'm sorry. So that's bullshit. So the third advantage he says is men. He says this almost seems absurd to add to the list. Well, this whole damn article is absurd, Mister. So okay. Anyways, because he said this almost seems absurd to add to the list, but I had to add it. You love men. Being gay, you don't have to worry about Venus or Mars. You don't have to learn the Venezuelan made up word, language, or struggle with all the misunderstandings that men and women tend to have. For the most part, being with someone of the same gender is kind of like falling in love with your best friend. It's comfortable and familiar, and you have this awesome friendship that'll grow to be more. The two of you will think on similar wavelengths and a lot of the same things. Burping isn't an issue, and neither are dirty socks. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Okay. Now the reason as to why this is a bunch of cow shit is because first of all, how is this an advantage? I mean, you're attracted to what you're attracted to. Straight men are attracted to women. Gay men like myself are attracted to men. So how is that an advantage if you're attracted to what you're attracted to? At least with the first two, I said, they were bullshit, but at least he was attempting to make a point. This is not a point. This is just the way it is. We're attracted to men, but playing devil's advocate, let me tango and cha cha with Satan for a minute. Okay, let's say he was using this as an advantage. The reason as to why this is cow shit is because this is not true. That is couldn't be furthermore shit. Gay men are very, very particular and very, very by the book, especially when it comes to attraction and dating and all this. You would think in a perfect world, like because it's two men, like they wouldn't care to be beer, nachos, and pretzels and farts and whatever. No, it is not like that. Well, not usually. It's not like that. Gay men are actually quite the opposite. Like they get really turned off. Like if they notice that the tiniest centimeter of something they find kind of untidy about a man, they're gonna nitpick at him. And this is even the so-called more like rugged men. They're even still like that. Like they're real particular. Like he has to be like 100% well groomed. There can't be one imperfection about him. Like I don't like because gay men we have like minds of women. That's why we're like that. And it shouldn't be like that, but we are. So that's why it's bullshit. Cause a lot of gay men are very like yeah, there are exceptions that aren't the rule that and exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, gay men are not like that. They are very picky and sadity like that, and they will you know nitpick at things like that. And so and then like attraction and dating is hard. There's gay men that don't want to date certain men, and so that's why I don't see this as an advantage because in a perfect world, it would be an advantage, but it's not because gay men don't operate like that at all. They do not, and so that's why that's bullshit. Re- I almost said it's not reason. No, I almost said why did I say reason? Advantage number four is that he says camaraderie, being comrades, camaraderie. He says similar to the community point above, you're not alone in the struggle. All of the misery that's been heaped on you has a ton of guys waiting to talk it out. They might be dealing with it right now, or they did in the past. But you'll find that a lot of the issues around being gay are universal. Not okay. Someone was texting me. I'm sorry. Uh, not all of them, but many, which is a great. Okay, the reason why this is bullshit, and this is similar to advantage number one that he said the community. But so I'm just going to have an identical stance on that. The gay community is difficult. It's very complex. So no, you would think that because straight men are able to talk to each other and that would be bros and all that, and with gay men it's like the opposite. A lot of gay men that they're very it's like a competition and it's like a battle. It's like a battle royale. Like everyone is like on either side. It's like north, south, east, and west. They're just attacking each other. And so that this is just bullshit. Like, no, gay men are not your comrades. They're not going to want to help you. If anything, they're going to try to bring you down and talk shit about you and gossip about you. Uh, God forbid if you work with another gay man in the company, it's probably going to be rare that the two of you are going to get along. He's going to probably want to. You're either going to try to get rid of him or he's going to want to try to get rid of you because there's something called the queen bee syndrome that a lot of gay men have. I don't know. You guys are with Modern Family, but I know Mitchell from Modern Family. He has Queen Bee syndrome, and it's something that gay men have when they want to be the only gay man in the group, and they want to be the gay man that's on top of the level. If there's another gay man, like common sense, hey, you're another gay man. I'm no longer a minority. Like we can work together, and we can know. with gay man, he wants to be the special snowflake. He wants to be the token. He wants to be the golden token, and so it's complicated and complex. So that's with all that I just said is the reason as to why this is bullshit. This advantage, quote unquote, is bullshit. Oh, let me clarify this, okay? I'm not saying every gay man is like that and every gay man has queen bee syndrome. No, of course not. I don't. But many gay men do. You just have to face facts and you have to be realistic and speak. You have to generalize when it comes to shit like this. Because that's what this guy is. He's doing. He's generalizing, making this article that's full of 9 different bullshitty advantages, quote unquote. And so, yeah, so I am generalizing, but no, but there are gay men that aren't going to be like that with you. But it's fact of the matter is that the majority of them are not. They are going to want to attack you, and they are going to want to, you know, try to defeat you and reign supreme reign supreme over you. That's just the way it is. Okay, so advantage number 5, he says, is sex. Whether you're into sword fighting, plugs, what? Excuse me? Okay, I'm just gonna stop. Uh, okay, the reason as to why this is bullshit, because this is similar to reason number 3, where Shadi says we're attracted to men. How is that an advantage? So I want to say, how is sex an advantage? Humans should be allowed to have sex. Okay, that's just being humans. Like we're humans. Humans are we can have sex, right? So how is that an advantage? If anything, it's a disadvantage because you know men having sex with men is unnatural. Okay, a man putting his dick inside a vagina, that's natural. A man putting his dick inside another man's ass is not natural. Yeah, it feels good, but and people and nothing wrong with that with two consenting adults, but it's very unnatural, painful sex. So I don't see how this is an advantage. It's a disadvantage 'cause a lot of gay men, they're into certain kinks and into certain groups and into certain thrills that if you're not a part of and if you don't look a certain way, again, I sound like a deja vu all over again, and I'm kind of repeating myself, but I have to because that's just how it is. You notice these patterns and why all this is bullshit, and I want to move on because this is completely bullshit. How is gay sex an advantage? If anything, it's a disadvantage. It's more judgmental. It's more painful. It's more gross. It's more unnatural. I mean, it's not more unnatural. It is unnatural, and so gay men are more picky with their sex partners. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Just this is bullshit. Okay, so advantage number 6 is that he says you can have friends that are women. Okay, without feeling like you're trying to manipulate them for sex, you can enjoy women at their most relaxed. Knowing that you're into dudes, women will show you all of their fun, caring, and beautiful sides. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Okay, I agree with him that yes, gay men stereotypically and prototypically are more connected towards women. They gay men usually have female friends because, as I mentioned in can straight men be friends with gay men video that I did, which you guys can find on my channel. Thank you very much. Uh, Gay men have issues befriending straight men, and so that leaves women. And so yeah, this isn't news. This isn't breaking headline news for me to read this to understand. But I don't what the where it's bullshit and where it's cow shit is how is this an advantage? It's not an advantage because we're that just by process of elimination, like we befriend women, and so I don't see how that's an advantage. And men are supposed to be more comfortable with other men. Like yeah, we're gay men, but we're men. Why are we trying to befriend women when we're not women? Men don't befriend women. I don't care if they're gay, straight, or whatever. And I mean, I love women, I respect women, but uh, I don't like how stereotypical people label that I have to befriend other women and I have to be the gay best friend, and then I go shopping with women, and I'm the personal shopper for women, and I'm the male point of view for like how women are supposed to dress because I'm a homosexual. Like, I don't understand that. Like I'm kind of puzzled. I don't consider this an advantage. I don't. I'm kind of confused. I see what he I see his point, but it's not an advantage. I'm confused as to why it's an advantage. And yeah, he's saying this is something that straight guys only see when a relationship's already set, like bonding with women. Like that's you can't compare that to that. I don't. I'm gonna stop. Advantage number 7 is that he says kids in marriage. You might want children, but your family is less likely to constantly remind, to put it lightly, about you settling down. Or in the case of women, pop out before your eggs dry, your eggs hit 30. Okay, okay, that's it. Okay, the reason as to why I don't agree with this is because, uh, that's how is that something to be happy about that we're not, oh, they're homosexual, so don't like pester them about getting married and having children. Like they're homosexual. They're like nobody's gonna love them because that's what I'm getting from it. Like that's from what he's trying to say. Nobody's gonna badger you. Why aren't you married? Like why don't you have kids? Because they know you're homosexual, so they're not gonna bother. Like to me, that's kind of sad because they're not because they know that you're a lost cause in life. With relationships, you're not going to ever find love. You're not going to have children because you're homosexual. So why am I going to waste my breath? Talk. At least with straight people, they have hope. There's the possibility. Like with gay men, there is no possibility. If anything, there's more stigma and there's more attacking. Like, no, you can't do this. It's illegal to do that. You can't get married. You can't go to this business. We don't want to support gay people, so you can't be a part of our business. So etc. etc. So I don't see how that's an advantage. Uh, so yeah, he's saying it's an advantage because we don't have to people are pestering us about getting married and having children, and he's also saying that we can like have surrogacies and we can choose how we want our baby to look like and what gender it is and okay, which is true, but all that is expensive and all that's relatively new technology procedures and protocols that have just come out. So none of that seems like an advantage. If anything, that seems like more of a disadvantage and more like a like going through all that bullshit. Like that's more like frustration. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. Number 8 advantage he says are celebrities, like gay men who are celebrities and rich and famous. He says the roster is huge. I wouldn't say it's huge, but yeah, there are quite a few gay celebrities. It's not huge. It's not that many, but there are a handful. But he says, but to name a few, Neil Patrick Harris, which is Doogie Howser, Barney on How I Met Your Mother, Jim Parsons, Sheldon from a Big Bang Theory, Mark Jacobs. The name sounds familiar. Let me Google him very very quickly. I've heard of his name, but I don't know who he is. The designer. Stupid. I'm such a damn dumbass. Yeah, Mark Jacobs, the designer, and Bruce LaBruce. Now, is he another? That sounds like a designer, but I'm gonna Google him as well. Bruce LaBruce. Now, oh, he's a actor whom I never met. Looking at his pictures on Google Images, yeah, I've never seen this man, but yeah. He says Neil Patrick Harris, Jim Parsons, Mark Jacobs, Bruce. That's the only one you mentioned. What about Elton John? No. What about Ian McKellen? No. No. I guess okay. Whatever. Oh yeah, he did mention Elton John. Okay. Well. Okay. But okay. Matthew Bomer. What? He's the one that was on Suits, right? And Michael Stipe. Who's Michael Stipe? I'm gonna Google him as well. I don't know who these actors are. I don't. Oh, he's a singer. He's a singer in REM. I don't listen to REM, so that's why I never. Yeah, nothing against REM. Like they're an alright band. I'm just not a fan of them. I don't follow their records and stuff. Okay. So, anyways, I'm wasting way too much time on that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I get like that. I get kind of sidetracked like that, and I'm gonna try not to do that as often. But I'm human. But anyways, so he's saying that because there are rich and famous gay men, that's an advantage. It's an advantage that they were able to become socialites and become famous and be household names. But being gay, for the most part, is still a stigma and it's still something a lot of people get attacked. I don't care if there are, there have been so many gay men that have won Academy Awards and uh, Golden Globes, and well, what I'm saying is that there's been so many gay men that have gotten accolades and things like that. There's been gay mayors and gay senators and things like that. People are still gonna have their mind made up on homosexual. I don't care. All right, so uh, none of that is an advantage, or I mean, it can motivate people that like watching fiction and like the arts. Like, oh well, he's gay as well. But other than that, the world is still turning, and homophobia is still turning around the Earth's atmosphere. So it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change anything. So that's why I have to say that's bullshit. That's not really an advantage because that can only do so much. Okay, so there's gay celebrities. Okay, but what the fuck does that have to do with me? Okay, Alan Cummings is gay. Okay, so what the fuck does that have to do with me in my life? You know, I don't understand. Like, RuPaul is gay. He's a gay black man. Like, I'm a gay black man. Okay, fine. That's good for motherfucking RuPaul. Okay, what about me? Like, yeah. So I don't care if a celebrity is gay. That's good for them, and that's good for their career that they came out. You know, they're themselves. They're doing what they want to do. What about me? Like, is that So that's why I have to say that's bullshit. That can only go so much. That can only be good used for motivation if you're into the arts. And I'll repeat that. Right. If you're an artistic person, knowing that there's another gay artist or gay person that's in that field, I guess that's good. But generally, what the fuck does that mean? Zilch. Like nothing, really. And finally, advantage number 9, he didn't really give a description, but I guess I can, like, assume. But he says, number 9, you have the golden ticket at birth. Now, as he didn't really explain himself with that, I'm going to guess and like sort of make an educated guess, like a Final Jeopardy guess. Like if I put my wager in, I'm gonna take a guess with Final Jeopardy. I think what he means is that where like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know how each of them, like all the 5 kids, they got their golden tickets. Everybody wants to get to the Chocolate Factory. Only 5 are gonna be picked. We're gonna be chosen. You have to have a golden ticket. And you know how all the other 4 kids, they didn't really, like, you have the boy, you had Augustus, like, he was like, whatever, like, like, I like chocolate, I like to eat, like it's whatever, like I found it, like whatever, I just want to eat. You had Veruca, who was a spoiled bitch, who didn't really find it. Her father bought her a damn ticket. You have Violet, who again, like Augustus, she was like, whatever, like, hey, I chew gum, I don't like chocolate, like, I just found the damn ticket. Then you have Mike TV, again, who he had like a whatever attitude about it. Yeah, I found it, but uh, all I'm interested in is watching TV. That's like, I don't care. Like, hey, I found a ticket, like whatever. But Charlie, like he's poor. He's a very respected young man. He comes from a very poor family. He lives with his grandparents, and and he really wanted, like, to have something. He really wanted to win the golden contest because he felt like all his life he's gone through shit. And so he found the golden ticket, and it meant a lot to him. It wasn't shit or fuck off to the other 4 kids, but to him, it was a real big special thing for Charlie. So, being that Charlie won the golden ticket, he felt very special, and he could have that part of his life or that time of his life to where he felt special and where he felt like that was his time to enjoy himself and to be liked. And I guess that's what he means by he said you have the golden ticket at birth. That us gay men, we should feel special, and we should feel like that. We should feel like we deserve a spot in the world because we're different. I don't consider this an advantage because there's so much negativity with that, and there's so much bullshit with that, and there's seems like nowadays there's so much political agendas trying to attack us. And shouldn't being gay be something that Not something that's, yeah, something that you have and you're born with, but something that doesn't consume 100% of you. And that's what I get when he says you have the golden ticket at birth. He wants us to make gay, 100% of us. He wants us to put gay on our sleeves and on our, chest, on, on our name badge, like gay. Like I don't. So I don't know. I don't. I mean, it's confusing, and that's why I don't consider that an advantage, because it's it's just who we are. Like, it shouldn't be an advantage in that sense. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the description. And the article was on 9 advantages of being gay, and I told you why all 9 of those advantages are actually disadvantages. Really, to be honest. And yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna end it, and yeah, that's it.